So growing up, I would go to Sam's Club with my grandmother, and they would have trumpets and saxophones like on display to buy. I don't know if they were like cheapo horns or whatever. And I always thought they looked cool. It's like a little kid wanting a toy. It's like, I wanted that. And then my 7th grade year, my band director in middle school was like, hey, we need some French horn players. The school will provide the horn. You don't have to pay for it. You can just use it. And that thing looks pretty cool, the big donut looking thing. So I switched to horn, and then basically ever since then, that's what I've played. So. I like the challenge of it. I just love to be challenged. It's like I'm a very competitive individual, so like the idea of just being able to work really hard at something that's really hard and be the best at it really enticed me to kind of put a lot of time on it over the years. It's probably one of the hardest instruments there is because, the French horn's actually 2 instruments combined. It's what we call double horns. So, a lot of people see the 3 valves, and then the trigger. The trigger is actually going between an F horn and a B flat horn. And so that was probably one of those things that kind of drew me to keep playing it and work hard at it. And then the challenge of it kind of made it fun. When you go for most of your life being overweight, getting as high as up to 305 pounds like I was, now being down to 201, it's a little over 100 pounds. In some ways you don't notice it over the year, like the loss, because you see yourself in a picture and you go, oh my gosh, like a year ago I looked like that. And then it's like, in some ways when you're living it every day, you don't notice it because it's kind of such a slow progression over a long period of time. And it's 365 days, of just living that every day and the loss being so just slow. And for horn playing, it's changed my horn playing a little bit. I've noticed it's easier to breathe. I can play for longer and not have to be winded either. Luckily, because I've stayed consistent on everything, the diet, the exercise, the playing, it's kind of all just melded into what it is today. So for the military bands, I knew that I wanted to keep doing wind band because I played 10 years in the wind ensemble at UA, and I found about the Marine band first, and I had auditioned for that and didn't get it. I was super close. And then I had a friend who is actually a UA grad from 20, 30 years ago. He's one of Skip's first master students here at UA. And he said, hey man, we have an audition in my band, the US Army Band. I'd already known about them. I'd competed and won in a competition that I'd found out called the National Collegiate Solo Competition that the Army Band hosts. I had won back in 2022 and I got to go in solo with the Army Band, and it was incredible. And I thought they were amazing then, and getting to stand up in front of them was just crazy. So I knew how great they were. I was terrified about the basic part, but he was like, hey man, no worries, just, basic would be fine. You should just come audition, win a great job. Found out through him, ended up last minute kind of taking it and signed up for it and went and did it. So it's kind of a nice Bama switch over that'll be happening, which is cool. One of my main jobs while I've been here has been the work with the $1 Million Band. Was a GTA for 3 years and was marched in the band for 5 years. I was a section leader for 4 of those 5 years in the mellophone section. It's been a really enjoyable thing because it's taught me a lot of things about discipline, and being organized is always kind of a big part of how you prepare too. For when I was preparing for military audition, I had to have an organized plan, how to attack it, how to spend time on it. And that's a lot of what the marching band kind of has to go through. How do you organize a big group of people, or even the mellophone section of 30, how do you get them all to be on the same page, do something together, have a plan to get them together. So during my time as a TA, I learned a lot about that. The resources and the quality of teaching that are at this university are second to, if any, none, but very few. It's done a lot. At the University of Alabama, I think it's a special place right now. Having the type of faculty that it has is one of the biggest things. The teachers are world-class. Skip Sneed, who's my horn professor at UA, there was a big influence of him with all the teaching, all the mentorship. The resources, relative to support, funding, all these things, facilities, this is exactly attainable. It's not a conservatory, it's a D1 SEC school, but you can still chase the dreams just like anybody else can. Being a GTA, you work with all the students, the 400 students of the band, And it's probably one of the more enjoyable times of my life was getting to work with the band. Breaks up the monotony of just playing the French horn 24/7. The marching band helped me transfer a lot of life skills and a lot of organizational skills into preparations for auditions or preparation for my day-to-day concert performing life. So.